What's up? What's up? What's up, beautiful people? It's Pretty Girl Loves Trap content. And yes, we are here yet again, another Sunday, maybe a fun day depending on your vibe. but yes, it's Mother's Day. So happy Mother's Day to all the mothers, grandmothers, aunties, big sisters, all the, maternal figures in the world, okay? Raising Canaan. Episode 9, season 4, y'all. And this happens every season. We wait 11 months for the new season. And it seems like it's only been 3 weeks since the season started. Like, I hate this feeling. Like, we're really about to be out of here. Episode 10 is next week. Like, what? Like, this is crazy. And no telling how long we're going to have to wait for season 5. Anywho, I guess we should be grateful to have the content nonetheless, okay? All right, y'all see y'all popping in. Mr. Jones, thank you for coming through. Thank you for the Happy Mother's Day. Hey, Daria, how are you? Thank you for coming through. Happy Mother's Day. Nicole, happy Mother's Day. Tamika, hey, boo. Happy Mother's Day, Tamika. Demarcus, thank you. Happy Mother's Day. How y'all doing? I hope y'all having a great, blessed day. I'm having a good day. I don't know what it is about Sundays. Like, well, my allergies has been messed up for weeks, but today, of course, I don't know what it is about Sundays. Like, it's always going on. So I'm making my tea. Well, I'm stirring my tea right now, guys. So bear with me. But yes, Mother's Day was great. I came downstairs to a beautiful surprise. But y'all, I don't want to do nothing, okay? I'm going to do these lives today. And I just want to nap and I want to eat and I want to sleep. That's all I want to do, okay? That's all I want to do. I don't want to be out in the madness. That's what my husband wanted to do. I don't want to be out in them streets, okay? No, Lulu is already out there. I don't need to be out there, okay? I am good, all right? Hey, Nita, happy Mother's Day. You not feeling good? Oh, I hate that. Well, I hope your day is going good. Well, we'll go a little better. But yeah, my allergies are acting up, girl. I need to get me some. The Claritin is not working. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what I need to do. Hey, HFG, how are you doing? Happy Mother's Day. You said I'm kicking your feet up while your husband and son cook it quick. Yes, girl. Yes, that's what I'm talking about. Okay. I should have got a bell for Mother's Day, like ring a ding ding, ring a ding ding. Like, what we doing here? Okay, cater to me. I don't know what Destiny's Child was talking about, but cater to me. All right. Alonzo Williams, what's up? He said, hey, y'all, I don't do much celebrating on Mother's Day, but a happy Mother's Day to all my Black beautiful mothers. I appreciate that. Yeah, Mother's Day can be a little tricky, especially, whatever your circumstance is. So I definitely understand. I was talking to my, I call her my grandmother, but she's like my stepdad's mom. And she was like, I'm a mother every day, okay? She was more concerned that Whole Foods was out of cornbread than anything, okay? So if y'all know about that Whole Foods cornbread, let me know. Because she's been ranting and raving about this cornbread. And since her neighborhood has been gentrified, she's in New York. And she's been upset because the clear people has been eating up all the cornbread. So, yeah, y'all. She's a little upset about the cornbread, but it is what it is. Let's see here. Dexter, you say you're no Joyce Thomas. LOL. I mean, she got out of here before Mother's Day, okay? They wasn't going over there anyway. Maybe Kanan, but nobody else. All right, y'all, let's get into it. Let's get into the things of the episode. Oh, Lord, so much going on, y'all. So much going on. So, of course, they didn't waste no time, okay? It says episode 9, we're not playing with y'all time, okay? Episode 9, we got to get into the things. So we start off, and we see Crystal over there all chained up, bruised up, doped up in this little dark room. And I was like, oh, man. Like, I know a lot of people have mixed signals regarding Crystal. Don't get me wrong. My guards was up. But I really started to feel the past few episodes that she really loves that little raggedy boy, Kanan. Like, I don't know what it is about that fool that made her love him, but it happened, okay? I don't know. Kanan is not lovable to me, but she found it somewhere in her heart. to love that poor little boy. Okay, well, I don't even say poor little boy, but they did her dirty, y'all. They did her. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm still in my feelings about the Juke thing, but even Juke is kind of like, I don't think she completely forgave her. You know, or you can either forgive and not forget, right? I think that's what Juke is on. But I was in my feelings. I was in my feelings, y'all. I don't know if I'm getting older, you know, but I shed a little thug tear about this situation. But, you know, we see Pop come in the room acting like she's a savior, what have you. And she's feeding this girl peanut butter, a little bit of jelly, okay? A little bit of jelly, okay? So she feeds Crystal because apparently she's been doped up, and I'm sure they probably sexually assaulted this girl, all the things. Like, y'all, this really, 4 people gotta go, okay? Snap, Pop, and those 2 cops, okay? They need to either snap Pops and Pop snaps, okay? They need to do all the things to these people because this is crazy. So Pop, you know, she tries to question Crystal because apparently it seems like the cops wasn't getting any information out of her. So now she's trying to use the womanly, you know, wows or what have you, you know, just the feminine qualities that she so-called possessed to get Crystal to talk. Kind of like how Juke was telling Kanan, like, hey, let me go to OC's mom. You know, it's different coming from a woman, right? So she's asking her questions. She's eating this peanut butter and jelly. Like, the girl was hungry, okay? And she was asking, like, yo, who Kanan think did famous? And she was like, I've been telling y'all. He don't know. She was like, well, he's been telling us that, you know, it came from the street. So let us know something. She was like, Crystal was really standing on 10 toes, okay? And I guess that peanut butter and jelly sandwich got a little good. So yeah, she was like, well, he think, you know, Raq actually did it, you know what I'm saying? Because he blames everything bad that happens to her. What happens to him is regarding her, okay? That she is the cause, right? So of course, light bulb goes into Pop's head, and then she ends up popping Crystal in the head. And I'm like, what in the world? Now, don't get me wrong, at this point, they couldn't let Crystal live. They couldn't let her live. You know what I'm saying? She'd have seen Pop's face. That wouldn't have worked out eventually in the future because Kanan worked with Pops, and it would be a high probability that she would see Pops again. So Pop had to pop her. I just feel like this whole plan is stupid, y'all. Like, not saying I completely hate the storyline with Snap and Pops being behind Famous and Crystal smirking, but I don't know how I feel about it. I don't know how I feel about it. I don't love it. But all this, like, I feel like for them to be that in the game, I don't know, y'all. Just, how do y'all feel about this? Let me know. I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. They gotta go. I'm sorry. They gotta go. They really do. They really do. I'm over it. Hey P Nicole, thank you for coming through. Thank you, RC. Happy Mother's Day, y'all. It's a lot. It's a lot. Oh yes, Nita, it was your birthday too, right? Yesterday. Happy belated birthday. Don't trip, I said it. What's up? You said those clears are everywhere. Them clears are everything. I don't know if that's a typo or if I'm just tripping. But thank you for rolling through, boo boo. Hey, Inga. Thank you for coming through, y'all. But yeah, I mean, some of y'all don't F with it, but I didn't like what they did to Crystal. And me and Inga was on her channel last week. And well, it was last week. And, you know, I mentioned like, hey, you know, I could see them, or I could see Crystal's end game being, you know, a dope head, you know, because that would be like the 180 story arc, if you will, the character arc, going from confident, or seemingly confident, even though she had her insecurities, because we saw her first at the audition, right, for Butter. And she was all, you know, y'all bitches know, you know, I'm going to be the lead singer, you know, the Beyonce, even though Beyonce wasn't out back then. But you know what I'm saying? Going from that to, you know, crack whore seemingly would be an interesting dynamic, right? Because we really haven't seen that type of storyline on Raising Kanan per se. Like the crackheads we see, they already been on crack. You know what I'm saying? We didn't see that Wanda transition, right? So I was like, well, that would be interesting for Raising Kanan to do it, even though I don't necessarily think they would. So I won't say I was partially right, but I am actually relieved that they did not go that far. They drugged her and then they murked her. Because I could see them going like, hey, Kanan rolling down the street and see Crystal over there, you know what I'm saying, asking for some drugs or whatever. Kind of like, if you guys are familiar with In Too Deep, that's one of my favorites. You kind of looking like, yo, like what you been into? So, but they didn't do that, which I'm glad, because my heart, my little heart, I don't think I would be able to take that. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to see Crystal out here strung out in these streets. So we had to end her chapter, you guys. Like, I don't know what it is about Pop. She just really be hating on Raq. Like, I feel like, yes, she claims she has a purpose for doing these things to Famous and Crystal, but Pop is kind of given the same type of energy that Kanan was given in regard to Tariq. Like, I don't F with your parents so much. I'm going to hurt them as much as I can, but I'm going to use you to do it. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm sure Kanan is not the only young, dumb, gullible drug dealer out there in them streets for them to manipulate. Like, this is getting mad aggravating. Like, what are we doing here? I'm over it. Rhonda, what's up? Haven't seen your name before, but thank you for coming through. You said Jukebox white girl turned into a druggie. You referred to Nicole. I see what you're saying, but we didn't see the full like drug addict. Like, it's apparent that Nicole has used drugs before. We see her with Crown Camacho. She already had paraphernalia, then she stole the drugs from Kanan, but it didn't last long. You know what I'm saying? Like, she was still looking like a functioning student, a functioning drug user. And I don't even think it was full blown like crackhead or whatever. You know what I'm saying? It was just, she was just still playing around at that point. I'm talking about, what I'm saying, prom queen or prom fiend. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm talking about in terms of the progression, like a Wanda. You know what I'm saying? Missing teeth and all that. But sorry, Crystal. Yes, Dexter, I do believe Pop is jealous of Raq. What's up, Flex? Okay, you must be from the D-Town, Detroit. You said, what up, though? Okay, shout out to all my Detroit people out there. Seeing a lot of new names, so thank y'all for coming through. If y'all don't mind subscribing, I appreciate that. Okay, there's Mother's Day. I mean, I ain't asking for no card, no flowers, no balloons. I mean, I already got all that. Shout out to the hubby, but I'm asking y'all to please like and subscribe, okay? Baby Lock or Baby Loke, I'm not sure, but you said Kanan is a gangster, quit hating. Do gangsters be over there crying to their mommy all the time? I don't know. I mean, he has gangster-like qualities, but I'm not calling him full gangster at this point. Like, he's still a brat. So if a gangster can be a brat and a brat could be a gangster, maybe. Okay, but I'm not hating. But it's clear that you over here, you're riding for Kanan, and I ain't mad at you. I just, I feel like people who root for Kanan need a psych evaluation. And I do have a psychology degree, so I think I am qualified to say such things, okay? Yes, Inga, Kanan is still a boy. Not saying boys can't be gangsters, okay? But he's still a baby. I call him a baby gangster, okay? TMR Gino, what's up? He said, nah, gangster, still young and dumb. That is definitely facts, all right? So speaking of young and dumb Kanan, him and Juke, they meet up at a diner, all right? He's on the phone seemingly with family member, probably Crystal's cousins, right? Because she didn't make it to Delaware. So he's being advised of this information, right? And of course, he's sitting with Juke. He was like, Fame, Crystal, OC, this all connected. And she was like, no, we don't know if that's connected. It's crazy out here in these streets. This is prime crack era, Queens, New York. Like, what are you talking about? And of course, Kanan is narcissistic. So he's talking about, yeah, this is about me. I know it is. And this is the thing. It is about you, Kanan, but the part that you're wrong at and that you're always going to be wrong at until you figure out the truth is that it has nothing to do with your mother. And yes, Pop and Snap, they're responsible for Famous and Crystal. But OC, that's due to your stepdaddy, Unique, okay? And his love-hate relationship and feelings towards your mother, Rock, which has nothing to do with her on some level because of the so-called quote-unquote head injuries that he's experienced, okay? But I'm tired of Kanan. Like, if this show was not so good with the other actors and the storylines and the drip and the nostalgia of it all, I don't know if I can deal with like really watching it because Kanan gets on my last nerves. The smart mouth of it all. Somebody need to chop him in the throat. And Rock, yeah, she gives me that type of mother. She don't want her siblings interfering. Like, this is my son. I'm going to raise him how I want to, whatever. But Marvin and Lulu should have been choked them up and yoked them up long time ago. Long time ago. Because who are you talking to, Kanan? Who are you talking to? Mad disrespectful. So, of course, you know, Rock shows up and she's like, yo, I've been calling you 11 times. You ain't been picking up. He was like, so, because I didn't pick. What you think? I want to talk to you? Like, I don't want to talk to you now, and I didn't want to talk to you then. I've been ignoring those calls. And so she took those glasses like she was going to do something. And I'm like, Rock, go ahead and do it. I know you're tired of being chill and calm with this boy. Like, I understand. You slim and tender. And Kanan, he's getting to the stocky level of terms of his weight. But at the end of the day, you can yoke him up. Have Juke hold him down while you yoke him up because I am tired. So he proceeds to ask Rock, so what you know about Fame? Right? And she was like, what? See, and this is the thing, right? Rock knows the way Kanan asks questions, even though to the untrained eye, it may seem like one question, but it really means another. He's really trying to imply something else. And Juke over here trying to be the mediator, the interpreter. You know, she's trying to, interpreter. I don't know what the heck I was just saying, y'all. But you know what I'm saying? Juke is over there trying to play the middleman. And I don't know. I'll talk about Juke in a second and where her headset is. But Rock is standing 10 toes down. Like, I love Fame. I would never hurt him. And of course, he always got to bring up D-Wiz, which is really annoying because how many times we got to remind you that's on you. Hold yourself accountable. That's on you, Kanan. And I know the way you are set up, you don't want to give yourself the responsibility of D-Wiz's demise, but you got to take that. You got to do the Diddy. You got to take that. Because at the end of the day, that's already spoken for. We already figured that out. Like, I don't know. Like, don't get me wrong. I know Rock is capable of a lot of things. And not saying she couldn't have been capable of Famous, but this ain't on her. Like, what are we doing? Like, what are we doing here? Then, you know, Rock was like, yo, I'm only here because your homegirl Crystal came over to my house saying you about to do something stupid. So just know I'm not cleaning up your mess in Timor, okay? Your mother cleanup coupon has expired. Okay, I'm done. I'm done. I got Marvin over here, 38 years old. I've been cleaning up his mess for umpteen years. I'm not doing that with you, Kanan. She over there cleaning up everybody's mess. Molly the maid, okay? She over here cleaning up Lulu was messing up. You know what I'm saying? We already know. We'll get into Lulu a little later. Marvin forever messing up. Rock is tired. Rock need a vacation. Can we go to Jamaica? I mean, Ghost got a vacation with Angie. He went to Miami. Why we can't get a vacation? Like, but this is why we can't get a vacation because people blame her for everything and she got to clean up everything for everybody. Like, this is ridiculous. So Kanan, he proceeds to ask additional questions about Crystal's visit. Like, yo, when did she come? When did she leave? Did somebody scoop her up in front of your house? And of course, Rock was like, I don't know. But see, this is a problem, Kanan. If you would have answered one of those phone calls, you would have found out this information earlier. But hey, this is what you get. Not saying you would have found her, because Crystal, she was already long gone. But at the end of the day, if you would have, Rock probably called you as soon as she left. You probably could have called her to the bus. Mind you, you got a whole whip, Kanan. You got a luxury vehicle. You couldn't have taken her to Delaware? That ain't but a few hours, if that. You couldn't have drove her? You had her taking a bus? Like, what we doing here? You ain't doing nothing. You ain't got no work. You really ain't investigating OC. That's, Juke over there doing that. You free, my boy. You got a free day. Take you a sick day, a PTO day, and take your girl to safety. That's all you, like, what we doing here, Kanan? That's on you low-key, too. Not low-key, actually high-key. Oh, Lord. Then Kanan is on his neek talking about if it's not directly on you, it's indirectly on you. She probably got scooped up in all of your mess like everybody do. It could have been Neek. It could have been Quan. You done effed up so many people. And I'm like, yo, like, what are we doing? He sound just like Neek at his little, reveal party the other day. Like, stop blaming Rock for everything. Like, this is getting old, y'all. I'm getting tired. This narrative need to stop season 5 because I'm over it. I'm over it. Kanan is mad annoying, and I'm over it. So Rock says, it must be nice to have me in your life to point the finger at. And he got the nerve, the audacity to say nothing nice about having you in my life. I was like, yo, I don't want nothing to happen to Rock, but I need Kanan to eat those words at one point because what? It's giving everybody hates Chris. Everybody hates Rock. Like, what are we doing? Like, yo, this is bananas. Like, this is crazy. Like, are you serious right now? So he leaves, like I'm saying, if he a gangster, whatever, he left. So Rock was like, yo, to Juke, there's no winning him. And Juke was like, you shouldn't be worried about winning him. You should be worried about losing him. No, she don't need to be worried about losing him. Let that little nigga go and do what he need to do. Because I'm tired for Rock. And this is the thing with Juke. She has this newfound vocal ability when it comes to Rock and Kanan's relationship. So I don't know if I don't want to say projecting, because it's so many things with Juke, right? And I'm not sure because she has me questioning her a lot of times. Like in previous seasons, when it comes to Rock, I had no issue if she was down for Rock or not. And I do, appreciate that she tries to be loyal to Kanan. Also tries to, be there in like a sound. I don't even want to say a sound like, I don't know, because I'm still stuck on her telling Marvin and Rock that Kanan's grown. Yes, technically he's grown physically and he got his own apartment or what have you. He's providing for his own per se, but mentally he ain't grown. And I don't know if Juke, by way of Kanan, is speaking out for herself. Or, she's starting to not have rose-colored glasses in regards to, the previous generation, i.e. Marvin, and Rock, even though I don't think she ever really had rose-colored glasses in terms of Marvin. But I don't know. I just don't know how I'm feeling about Juke this season. Like, I don't hate her. I don't think I don't think I'll ever hate Juke. I don't know. Did I hate Juke in OG Power? Did I hate Juke? That's a good question. I don't really know. Did y'all hate Juke in OG Power? I probably didn't like her. I'm sure I didn't like her, but I didn't like Tariq either. So I don't know. I would have to really do a deep dive in my brain to see how I really felt about her in OG Power. So let's switch over there to Lulu, right? He over there with Brillo. Oh, Lord. Shout out to Brillo. B-Rilla. Oh, gosh. Sorry. My little notes I had, like, the letters all together, right? So we learned this later, but he requested Imani's presence, right? So they getting questioned by the popo, and so they confiscated some weapons, right? One of the weapons that they confiscated out of Kenyatta and Associates matches the ballistics of a Lowe's home invasion situation, right? So there's some connection there. And I'm glad they kind of put this in, because now we at least know that the cops in this show is checking ballistics, okay? Because we always talking about DNA and messy behind crime scenes, but DNA and all those forensics, that was a kind of a gray area, kind of a new thing in the 90s per se. So I'm glad they kind of mentioned that, yes, the cops here are at least checking ballistics, right? But I think it's mainly also due to, because they're not necessarily in the hood. I'm sure they're like downtown Manhattan or what have you, right? So even though there are some hoods in downtown Manhattan, shout out to, Lower East Side and all that stuff. But of course, we're pledging our innocence, okay? Lulu is over here using Imani as an alibi. She like she thrown off, okay? And then Birilla, he's playing it cool too. So I'm like, okay, we just need to be consistent, because Birilla, you be scaring me, okay? I can't trust you. So they leave, all right? But they was like, don't skip town. Birilla was like, okay, well, where we gonna go? Okay, the farthest we gonna go is the Poconos, and we ain't taking no vacations no time soon. So the cops leave, and of course, Birilla is mad confident, talking about they don't know nothing. Lulu was like, yeah, but they still looking and listening. Don't give them nothing to hear or see. And that's the difference, okay, in terms of experience and inexperience, okay? Because I'm sure somebody like Kanan or someone his age, he thinks everything's gravy, but someone like Lulu who's experienced understands, even though things may appear to be cool, you still got to be on your P's and Q's, right? So Lulu eventually goes to, the cafe. He talks to Shirley. And he's updating her on his life and everything, how he's feeling about himself, yada, yada, yada. So Thirsty behind Imani shows up. And of course, Lulu's like, here we go. I got to deal with this chick, okay? Like, she's more headache than anything, okay? So she's like, yo, sir, can I talk to you? Because I didn't know I was going to be an accomplice, okay? And she breaks up with him. And Lulu was like, okay, we weren't even in a relationship, mama. Like, what are we doing here? She is in an imaginary situation. Yes, he said he was knocking you down full time and he ain't had no side jobs. But that don't mean knocking you down full time don't mean we in a relationship. Like, what, Imani, like, how old are you? You're giving a good 29, 30. Like, you should be well experienced in the game to realize these things. Like, why I gotta school you on how this go? And this is what happens when you thirsty and you're not vetting the fools you trying to be in a relationship with, or you're not vetting the right things. You was over there doing research on Jessica, but no, you probably ain't do no research on Lulu's background, because his name is out there in them streets. But I guess you in the corporate world, honey, and you don't know what's going down. But hey, if you would have been around that man like that, you would probably get a little snifferoos that he's really gully out here in these streets. But as soon as she says, I'm done, I was like, good riddance, goodbye, finito, sayonara. Because Imani, you was getting on my damn nerves anyway, okay? So she told Lowell she don't want to work with Lulu on no projects or whatever. I was like, cool, that's fine, okay? Because Lulu, you could tell his body language. She was like, all right, cool, like, whatever. Whatever. It is what it is, right? What's up, the Soul Firm Entertainment? Thank you for coming through. I appreciate you. But yeah, Booby, what's up, bro? Thank you for coming through. Imani, I don't know. I'm a little nervous if she's going to be a problem in the future, because we already know she ain't down with the crimery of it all, right? I like to make up words if y'all don't know. So I'm a little concerned, because I feel like those cops is going to be back. they did ask Lulu to give them Imani's information. So I need her to at least hold it down just a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Just remember the good times that Lulu gave you those few nights and just hopefully allow yourself to at least help a brother out. I'm just saying, like, that's all we need. But I like that as well, because I feel like, and maybe I'm reaching, but this probably could have served as a test for Lulu in regards to Imani. Like, let me see if she gonna hold it down. Let me see if she's really worth being around me in this life. You know what I'm saying? Even though I feel like at this point, this particular conversation, I think also pulled Lulu more back to the street, because she had the nerve to say, I hope you find a way to be honest with yourself, because you can't be honest with me or nobody else. How do you know? You don't know this man. You didn't meet this man's family. I mean, Lulu ain't really got no friends like that, but you don't know him. This was pretty much a smash and grab, Imani. Like, I'm sorry, y'all. I cannot stand Imani. Actually, I like Crystal more, and that's a lot to say. I'm not even gonna hold you guys. Like, I can't deal with her. I can't deal. Buy cheap wig. Oh my God. It was, I don't know. Her wig looked a little better. The cheapest wig I ever seen was Franklin's chick in Snowfall. I can't think of her name right now, but that wig was legendary. Hey, Moochie Boo. Hey. Happy Mother's Day again. But yes, y'all, I'm over it. And if y'all don't mind, please like the video. I would appreciate that. Hey, DeMarcus, thank you so much for the super chat. You said who would rather see, Lulu with Jessica or Imani? I mean, Jessica, I guess. Jessica, I would say. Imani, I never liked her. I'm sorry. She's not right. But yeah, definitely Jessica. Jessica was down with the program, okay? Maybe not now. She's been through some trauma, okay? She's trying to do right. But yeah, I would say Jessica. Oh, Lord. So it seems as though the next day or what have you, Lulu was over there at Lowell's office. And he's kind of insinuating that Lulu has something to do with, you know, the murking in the street and his home invasion. Lulu was like, nah, that ain't on me, bruh. That ain't on me. So he pretty much quit, because he says he's a street ninja and he do street ninja-ish. I said, well, Lou, this ain't really helping your case, because murking people on the street and home invasions is pretty much street ninja-ish. So regardless of the fact, you looking like you kind of involved, bruh. Like, Lowell actually seemed kind of cool at the end of the day, because, you know, he was like, hey, I'm not letting nobody go yet, because, you know, what kind of tipped him off is the fact that Imani no longer wants to work with him. But I don't know. Do y'all think this storyline is over with the whole Lowell situation? Maybe. Oh, Lord. But how does that work? Like, you had a contract, Lulu. Like, is the contract null and void now? Like, do you just not care? I don't know. But I really don't care. Okay. Early. I don't know what it is. I mean, I know this is kind of like because Chris Red, he has hair. So I know his character has to be bald, but can y'all put a little lotion or some baby oil or some moisturizer on his scalp or something? I mean, I know it's kind of like wintertime or springtime. I don't know exactly what month it is in New York right now in this show, but it's giving Ash. Like, can we get this man a hat or something? Like, what we doing here? Like, he's just moisturize the man just a little bit. Just a little bit. All we need, just a little bit, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Like, that's all I'm asking for. Just a little bit of moisturization on the scalp situation. Okay. But he immediately pulls up on Marvin, right? First of all, you staking my house out. Like, I don't really feel comfortable about that at all. Like, how long you been out there early? You been out there early? Like, let me know. Because as soon as I come out the crib, you pressing up on me from across the street. So Marvin, I need you to pay attention to these things, okay? Because the streets is watching. So he pretty much is approaching Marvin about Londell. And of course, he's trying to play dumb or whatever. He was trying to have some manners, condolences of it all. But Early already know what it is. And see, this is the thing. Marvin, certain situations, you can't be too cocky. Because he was like, yo, if I did put down that chatty ninja, what the F you gonna do about it? And of course, Early, he had no, verbal response for that. And so Marvin politely gets in his car and skirt the F off, right? So, I mean, yeah, that could be considered some gangster-ish, but you should have just listened to Rock. Put both of them down. But you over there is being greedy because Early was hitting you off. But at that point, if you're going to murk his cousin, you thought you was going to be able to still murk his cousin and still get broke off with the bread? I mean, honestly, Marvin was in a lose-lose situation anyway, because if he would have murked Early, he would have had to been recruiter again and find another replacement for, the gambling situation. Like, it was Marvin was caught in a bad spot. Like, I don't understand how many seasons we got to deal with the mob and be making these bad decisions. Like, I'm getting tired. Oh, Lord. What's up, Candy Love? Happy Mother's Day. Thank you for coming through. Q Biz, what's up? I feel like I missed somebody, but I appreciate all of you guys that are in the chat, as well as whoever is listening and not in the chat. I appreciate you too. If you don't mind, use one of your 10 toes, 10 fingers, something to like this video, okay? Kanan goes to Crystal's mother's boyfriend's job to get info, right? Not much to say about this scene, but the boyfriend was very much condescending to Kanan's profession. Okay, oh, you the dope dealer, the drug dealer, the corner boy, yada, yada, yada. And that was very audacious, sir, because you over here looking like Chester the molester. Like, you over here touching your girlfriend's kids or kid. I don't know if Crystal got siblings or not, but sir, check yourself, right? But he didn't need to check himself because Kanan checked him, okay? Tim's to the stomach. Tim's was to the stomach. And y'all notice how them Tim's be going through the wear and tear, right? They really forward tough because them Tim's was not scuffed at all right? He put a whooping on my man's behind, okay? He need to get some of that aggression out. Kanan, he's not one for traditional therapy. So this is his therapy, beating up ninjas, right? And he made them, agree, like, hey, if you hear from Crystal, let me know. Because at this point, they haven't heard from her, right? And he pretty much said Crystal and her moms don't talk anymore. And I'm sure it's because of you. And I believe his name is Purcell. That's giving cringe by itself. Anywho, yes, Flex, it definitely does. You said this scene reminds me of when Tommy paid Holly's uncle a visit. Yes. But yeah, he actually murked that man. He definitely murked that man, okay? So speaking of murk, David is living his best life, not delivering drugs at the club. It's giving love in the club. It was giving very much Usher, Lil Jon, and Ludacris, okay? But this is the thing, right? This scene is very confusing to me because he's dancing with a dude, okay? He pretty much threatens old dude. Then he goes to the bathroom, but in the midst of going to the restroom, we see a goon, right? An unhappy looking goon. How did, I think it's E-Train, how did he even get in? Like, he's not matching the vibes at all. Like, they not playing no Onyx up in here. Like, I don't know. It just felt weird. Like, how did you get through the door? Did you go through the front door or the back door? Back door, I could see, all right, cool. But if you going through the front door, did you play gay? Or were they just, scared of you the way they just let you in? I'm just saying. Because you stick out like a sore thumb. Because if anybody get questioned in that club, which probably we not probably going to even go that far, but if people get questioned like, oh yeah, I saw this angry looking black man in a hoodie, he was not fitting the vibes at all. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't understand. Like, this did not go well. And then David goes to the bathroom. But E-Train is coming out of the stall. And then murks him. Like, the timing seems very weird. Like, the logistics of it all, I am confusion. But I'm not going to, I'm not going to stress too much about this. But we just know David is gone. He was useless anyway. But this is a problem for Rock, okay? So we got to figure out some other things. But yeah, David, you snorted your last line, my boy. It is what it is. So Rock, she goes to see about these drugs that ain't being delivered. And then she gets, notice that, everybody's in mourning or what have you. So she's like, oh, damn. David's gone. David's gone. Terry, is it not Terry? What was his brother's name? Y'all let me know in the chat. So let's switch over to Juke. She over there having a conversation with Mara. And she said Garcia paid her a visit because I guess Juke's name pulled up in the system because when Mara was being questioned about her ex's domestic violence history, that she listed Juke as a witness. But the interesting part is Garcia wasn't asking Mara any questions. He was just pretty much dry snitching on a Thomas organization and how Juke has all these troubles and whatnot. Like, Garcia is more annoying than Greg Knox at this point. Well, I don't know. That was an annoying time in my life. I don't know, but he's giving Greg Knox. He's giving between Whitman and Greg Knox. I don't know. Burke is up there too. I mean, we already know we be dealing with annoying cops, okay? But he's giving top 5 annoying cops in the Power universe, okay? So I don't know. Mara, she says she don't know anything, which is true. But in the back of her mind, I wonder if she's knowing, like, I know this girl's background, her family background. I don't know if she's really starting to put 2 and 2 together and possibly thinking that Juke has something to do with her husband. But at the same time, she seems so happy and such in a peaceful place in her life. Like, I don't know if she would even care. She would probably send, Juke a thank you card if she was, told the truth or what have you. But yeah, Juke is very much annoyed. Very much annoyed. So Garcia, you got 1.5 episodes. I'm going to give you till minute 30 of season 5 to be out of here. Because I'm tired. I'm very much tired. So Rock and Marvin have a conversation at Marvin's house. And she knows Neek is behind the whole David situation. And she was like, yo, Neek is pushing us into a war, and it's really about to work. Like, we're really about to be at war. And Marvin's talking about, yeah, it is what it is. He hit us, we hit him back. It's the way of the world. I said, see, Marvin, this is why you're number 2. And you actually about to be number 3 because Lulu was back. But Marvin, see, this is not how it's supposed to work. War should be a last case scenario. You talking about it is what it is. You don't want to be at war when you're trying to grow a successful drug entrepreneur situation. Like, this is not how it's supposed to go, Marvin. I'm going to need you to train and retrain your thoughts because what? You're pretty much probably pushing 40 with this mindset. You ain't tired of putting fools down, Marvin? I know you said what you good at ain't nothing, it's bad, but you should really be murking when it's necessary. Not because we over here in wars that's preventable. Like, I'm starting to really low-key think you like the chaos. Because what? It is what it is. No, it ain't. No, we're not supposed to be doing this. I know Rock be over there just wanted to choke the ish out of Marvin sometimes because what? I'm tired of this. You're supposed to be my big brother. Oh my God, Marvin, I love you to death, bro, but I don't don't know what to do, you guys. And it looks like he was progressing in life. You know what I'm saying? We saw, he was elevating, he was possibly changing, but now he's reverting back to himself. You might as well be over here just smoking dope again, because what we doing, Marvin? What are we doing? Like, I'm tired. I'm getting stressed out. My edges are getting gray because of Marvin. Nothing else. What's up, Detroit? Thank you for coming through. What's up, Torian? Thank y'all for coming through. I appreciate it. What's up, Stephen Harris? Y'all, pray for Marvin. Pray for Marvin, because he does not seemingly have a strategic bone in his body. Like, I don't know what it is. I don't know. Tamika, she was like, child, wanted to jump through the TV screen on Marvin. And that's what he make you do. Like, Marvin, you ain't tired of putting in that work. You ain't tired of sweating in those silk shirts. Come on, man. What? Oh, Lord. He making my pressure go up. So now we got an issue, because we need those trucks to transport the work. And she knows that is a high possibility that whoever is replacing David is going to be very much cautious of working with her. We already see Unc over there scared out of his mind working with Rock. And she could threaten him, but she don't know if she could threaten a new person. So that's an issue. Because how many bodies we got? How many bodies we got over there in Chinatown? I mean, the body count is very much high. But she was like, okay, I got some storage. I could put some of the work in storage. But we going to need some solutions, right? So Marvin was like, okay, let's go hit up Stefano for some trucks. And Rock was like, I'm tired. I'm tired over here having to clear everything with these, rigatoni eating efforts. I swear, the slurs be on point. The slurs be on point, okay? It's all in love. But the slurs be on point. So that gives us a clue on what she's possibly going to be thinking of doing in the future, okay? Because Rock is always forward thinking, okay? Don't get it twisted. She be having 11 things going on at once, but she always got plans, right? So she was like, all right, we're going to step to Stefano. I need to be updated on what you got going on and the assignments that I bestowed upon you. What's up with Early and them? Did you handle it? And he was like, it's handled in God's way. I said, oh, since when we start getting religious, Marvin? Now we know Marvin always been a softie for the kids, okay? He just like ODB. He love the kids. And he love, just people he feels that, don't necessarily deserve to die per se. But he also loved making sure those pockets and them slacks is full. And that's part of the reason why he didn't want to murk Early. But this is a problem. How many times have Rock given you bad advice or bad instructions, Marvin? I'm gonna be quiet. I'm gonna wait. How many times, Marvin? How many times was she wrong? How many times was she wrong when she gave you instructions, Marvin? 0. How many times have you been wrong when you haven't listened to her instructions? 11, okay? Marvin, I'm tired of you not listening, because time and time again, it bites you in the ass. I mean, nepotism is a funny thing, right? What in the Bronny James is going on? Because do you deserve this? Do you deserve to be in this position, Marvin? I don't know. Hey, Torian, thank you so much for this super chat. You said it's your duty as a woman of the silk cloth to go to save her brother Marvin from himself. We tired of saving. I believe it was Deacon Project Pat. He said, don't save him. She don't want to be saved. And I'm sure he was talking about them hoes. Well, we also talking about them bros, okay? He don't want to be saved, Torian. I'm tired, boss. And this is, I'm tired. And Marvin didn't make no effort to clean the Londell situation up. You could have dragged him somewhere. Like if Pop and Smoke could have people, transported to one borough to another or one side of town, why can't you do it? Take the hard bottoms off, put some Timbs or some sneakers on, and get to work. Lift Londell up. Londell, you looked about the same weight. You know what I'm saying? You could have got a goon. You be getting goons when you need them. Get some goons, pick Londell body up, and put him somewhere. Make it seem like he was missing or something, even though it would have definitely still been on high alert that you was the cause. But at least we wouldn't have had no body to confirm Londell's death. Jesus Christ. On a lighter note, Aisha back. Okay, I did not expect to see her again, but hey, she lives in New York. She's from New York. So, hey, she on a school break. She wanted to meet up with Juke. She probably had an itch that needed to be scratched. Who knows? They meet up for desserts. Maybe she wanted to be a dessert. But, she's trying to get information on Juke and what she got going on. Juke is kind of like, I don't want to know. I don't know what I'm doing with my life. I'm a little lost. I need to be found. And she was like, yo, like, what happened with all the BS about you getting away from your family? She was like, well, maybe my family ain't that bad. Maybe I'm like these fools after all. And Aisha was like, okay, girl, whatever you say. You have one of those friends that just be making horrible decisions and you try to be supportive, but you also, not trying to just be negative. Yeah, that's what Aisha was giving, right? So they really pretty much acknowledge they still feeling each other. And Aisha was like, good, because they was both getting jealous of each other's little, love situation. Aisha said she's dating some dude who wants to be a doctor. I'm like, stick with that. He's going to be definitely enough for your parents to want to be with. And I think that's that's good. Stay there, Aisha. Okay. Do not be with the hood rat ish that Juke trying to be on. Okay. Because your expiration date will be moved up, ma'am. Okay. Please, y'all. Please save Aisha. I'm tired. I'm tired. So, of course, to end the date, Garcia pops up. One moment, you guys. Garcia pops up. He was like, ooh, treats, desserts. I don't really like them, but my pregnant wife does. Ding, ding, ding. Are we going to see a pregnant wife? Is she going to be a casualty? I know these power writers do not be putting in these details for no reason. So she allows Aisha to go. She's like, hey, girl, I got this. Okay. And she's like, Garcia, what you want? Like, she be giving, I'm very much exhausted when it comes to Garcia. And I feel the same way. And he was like, I'm going to keep pressing you and popping up until you agree to work with me. I'm like, Garcia, get you a partner. Why you don't have no partner, Garcia? Like, Juke is not your partner, but he's going off of what Burke told him. You know what I'm saying? Her rapport with Burke is kind of coming into play at this point. And he also feels like, hey, this is an innocent girl in this family. Sure, she's not like them. So she will be possibly the first and easiest one to crack. Garcia, you gotta go. I'm sorry, you gotta go. And why you got a tracker on Juke? Like, how are you finding her? Jesus Christ. So we at the tailor shop. Neek is over there. I know his neck feel hurt. Like, his neck kind of heavy. Come on, Neek, you have to wear all the chains all day, every day. I know you bought them all, but come on, switch it up a little bit. Like, I know your neck hurting a little bit. Wasn't a slick Rick. So he thanks E-Train for putting David down. And so he was like, you a big buck, ain't you? I'm like, hold up. This conversation is giving very much pause. Like, come on, Nick, what's going on here? Like, you hitting on the guy? Like, what we doing? And he was like, yo, what y'all feeding on? He was like, New York ninjas. I was like, oh. And everybody started to laugh. Now, I ain't gonna lie, that line was fire, okay? After 5 minutes, I kind of stopped laughing because I was getting offended, right? I'm like, hold up, we not doing that. We not doing that, Jersey. We not doing that. But they all was laughing. And it was giving cringy, it was giving eerie, it was giving weird. Because, Nick, I need you to remind yourself that you are not amongst friends, okay? I mean, really, they say there's no friends in the game anyway. But these are New Jersey folks, and they are going to be looking out for Jersey at the end of the day. And I'm not sure if I'm reaching, but the way the blocking was and the way the scene was set up, like Neek was surrounded by Jersey, laughing at him. And they didn't have no problem having a good time laughing at him. So I need him to definitely be on his P's and Q's. Sorry about that, you guys. But yes, Neek, be careful out there in them streets. Okay? I'm just saying. So the tailor shop is actually getting a lot of action tonight because Kanan pops up. He goes home. He can't really rest right now. His mind is going. He looks at a picture of him and Crystal. He was like, man, F this. So I was like, where you going, Kanan? Where you going? But we see where he went. He went to pop up on Neek. And of course, all the goons were on him, okay? He had all the blickies pointed at his little noggin. But Neek was like, nah, stand down. This is my stepson or whatever. Leave him alone, okay? I mean, he didn't say all that verbally, but, that's the energy. That's the energy, okay? He was like, oh, I've been wondering when you was going to pay me a visit. Welcome, my brother. And Kanan looking like, why was you wondering that? Like, he was giving a confused face. But he don't know that Neek been trying to be his stepdaddy. But of course, he don't know the history that Neek and his mama has. So that's why he is confused. Okay? So Kanan automatically, started asking him about Crystal. Neek was like, I ain't had nothing to do with your girl, the Porter Rock, aka Fame, nothing, okay? That ain't got nothing to do with me. And I ain't got no issue with you. I got an issue with your mother. Unless y'all partners or something, y'all working together, then I got an issue with you. But as of now, I do not. But Kanan, he confirms, like, no, I'm just getting work from her, okay? I ain't effing with her like that. We just cordial. Well, they're not even cordial. They just pretty much business partners per se, okay? So Neek was like, don't be over here as well in my face lying about the situation with my brother. Kanan was like, nah, I did that. That was me. He needed to be checked. So I checked him and I'll do it again. I ain't gonna lie. That was giving gangster. That was giving gangster. I'm not gonna lie, y'all. I definitely like that, okay? Stand on that. Now that's standing on business. So I did appreciate that out of Kanan, okay? I do appreciate that. You could tell Neek kind of like that. Like, oh, my stepson killing it right now. My stepson killing it. He killing it. Of course. And then he goes back. Rock. She over there. She ain't looking out for you. Your girl, Fame, Webster. He was like, you know about OC? And I was like, okay, Neek, you gonna save this? Are you gonna save this? Okay? Because you dry snitching low key, right? He was like, everybody know about OC. Everybody know your people getting taken out. I'm like, okay, that's kind of a good save right there. Because we have to think about it, Kanan's crew know about OC. The family was over, at OC's house. So it's crazy because the way news travel in the hood, it wouldn't question, it shouldn't question Kanan that Unique knows. But it could be two things, right? The writers could have put that in there for Kanan to address that because it may help him put two and two together later, right? Or they could have wrote that in to kind of show Kanan's, I don't want to say his ignorance or just not realizing like everybody's perspectives or quote unquote what the possible perspective is of him and his reputation in the hood. So it could be a couple of different things. It could be, but the way he played that off, that was fire, okay? So, he followed up with a little sales pitch. Unique had a little, theoretical, PowerPoint presentation, if you will. He was like, you know what, Kanan? This work. You got this little bike setup situation. Me and you can be like Voltron up in this bitch. We look out for ours on this side. I was like, Unique. Who is ours? Because you surrounded by a bunch of New Jersey niggas. Like, they over here can't be trusted anyway. But hey, he's doing his sales pitch. I was like, okay, rock on, Unique. See what you need to do to try to win Kanan over. But Kanan wasn't even winning. He wasn't even going for it because he was like, yo, you're just over here trying to mess with my moms. And my mom's found out that me and you working together, then it's going to F her head up. And I appreciate Kanan having that awareness. But goddamn, Kanan, can you have awareness about everything else when it comes to your mama? Like, that's what I'm talking about. Like, you be selective with your shit. Just like Unique. You be selective crazy, Unique. Like, I need some consistency out of y'all. But, Nick, he's trying real hard. He was saying, I believe you. I believe the children are our future. Teach them well and let them lead the way. Like, he was giving all the things, right? He was trying to let Kanan know, like, he believes in him. And everything ain't got to be about Rock. I said, oh, look at you over here preaching to the MF and choir, Unique. You and Kanan on the same ish. Y'all reading from the same church program. Church announcements, Rock. Choir selection, song by Rock, about Rock. Sermon, Rock. Benediction, Rock. Tithes and offering, Rock. Like, everything is about Rock. So shut up, Kanan. Kanan and Unique. I'm just tired. I'm tired of both of them at this point. The only reason I'm tolerating Unique a little more because my bird-like energy that I'm choosing to have right now is because Unique back to his flyness. That's the only thing. That's the only thing. So Kanan was like, low-key, I had my people call your people. Like, he really didn't give Unique an answer. But he was like, if you hear something about my girl, let me know. That's all he pretty much came there for. He trying to understand and see what's going on with his girl. Because like he said earlier to his moms at the diner, it could have been Unique. It could have been, Quan. Like, you don't have a relationship with so many people. We don't know what happened to her. So he decided tonight to go to the source. But again, if you would have answered the phone for your mother 2 days ago, just maybe, you would have been able to piece this together just a little better, a little quicker. But anyways, nothing could have saved Crystal, honestly, just with the fact of you driving her to where she needed to go. Because again, you got no drugs to sell, but you got a tank full of gas, I'm sure. But hey, it is what it is. So Kanan leaves the tailor shop wide open. Yeah, it's nighttime, but you wide open at his spot. And Rock, she over there doing stakeouts. We already seen her staking out Neek's spot, which is interesting that nobody really peeped her. Like, Neek, do you have people outside your crib? Like, just how Lulu saw Kenyatta and them and peeped them, nobody peeped Rock's Range Rover across the street. What are we doing here? But anyway, she see Kanan. Sorry, y'all. Something fell. But she see Kanan leave. And you could tell, like, she had so much disappointment and hurt Like, you could tell she probably wanted to shed a thug tear when she saw her baby boy coming out, her op slash ex-baby daddy, ex-lover, ex-sneaky link. Like, she like, damn, what the hell? This boy done went over to the other side for real. Like, you know, this fool over here trying to destroy me, but you over here having conversations with him? I can only imagine. I don't know. Rock, I understand it would have did nothing, but I would have turned that engine on and skirt. Ain't no linglet. Little niglet, what the hell you was over there talking to about what neat? Well, y'all was talking about me? Y'all was talking about work? What was y'all talking about? Like, I don't know. I would have skirt. I would have skirt on that nigga. One hand on the steering wheel. Skirt. Sir, what was y'all just talking about? What was y'all talking about? I'm too nosy, y'all. I don't know. I don't have the patience. I got to pull up. I got to pull the F up. So after Kanan leaves, Unique and Akbar have a conversation. Pretty much Akbar is questioning Neek's decision to possibly work with Kanan. And Akbar already know, like, hold up, this your girlfriend's son. You know what I'm saying? Because Phil always talking about Rock as his girl. He was like, this your boo thing's son. Like, regardless, I mean, he ain't saying that, but that's probably what's in his head, because everybody know the streets be gossiping, okay? Niggas be gossiping. Regardless of what y'all say, y'all be gossiping more than women, okay? Let's just keep it real. Let's just keep it real, right? So he's probably thinking, like, this is messy as hell. Like, you can't, this is literally mixing business and pleasure a little bit. Like, what are we doing? Akbar is definitely over there side-eyeing. You over here murking teenagers on a nice, newly upholstered couch, okay? You over here trying to work with your stepson. This don't make no sense. And this is the thing, too. You over here hiring Jersey dudes to murk people, i.e. David, but Phil told you no bodies. You a hard-headed motherfucker. I'm sorry, y'all. It's Mother's Day. I can curse if I want to. I mean, it is what it is. It is what it is. The Lord knows my heart, okay? And sometimes these characters be leading me to do it. I got to work on that. But Unique, he's telling Akbar, yo, Kanan, he's connected to heavy hitters outside of Raquel, okay? If I beef with him, I'm beefing with them, okay? He's smart. He stand on his own. He told me in my face that he murked my brother and he'll do it again. Like, you need that kind of turn him on a little bit, not like in a, sexual way, but, he get excited when he sees some like-minded goons. He's like, the boy growing up, man, the boy growing up. I say, you really sound like a proud father. Like, get the hell out of here. The boy's growing up. Are you serious right now? Are you serious? Like, he really want to have a family. Where's Jerome? Why you ain't never with Jerome? If you want to talk about a boy growing up, Jerome growing up in front of your very eyes, but you over here admiring Kanan's old goofy ass. You got Romy Rome trapped up in a room like Amber, but you over here wasting all your time with these Jersey Negroes. Like, come on, get out of my face. So Rock and Marvin meet with Stefano. I still don't understand these meetings, you guys. It's really frustrating me. Y'all know the block is hot when it comes to Stefano. Y'all know the fans watching, but y'all over here steady meeting with Stefano in public. Y'all can't meet up in the alley at night or random place. Like, come on, y'all. Rock, you know this. Marvin, I don't expect him to understand these things. But Rock, it is giving me confusion. I mean, maybe I'm looking too deep into it, but at the same time, I feel like I'm a part of Thomas's family too. So, like, what are we doing? But let me move on. So, Rock is discussing the David situation with Stefano. Stefano acting like he just found out, talking about, I didn't know about the Oriental. But I'm like, you know what, Stefano? I can't believe nothing you say. You probably knew about David, but ain't want to say ish, because right now I can't trust you. I can never really trust you. but you was a little more palatable. You know what I'm saying? You were a little more likable back in the day. Now you desperate, and I don't trust you. So they're questioning whether Neek did this on his own or if he received, the approval from Jersey, because now we know he's being backed by Jersey, right? Because if he's being backed by Jersey and Jersey gave him the approval, that means we got the green light on a war, and we're not trying to have no war. So Stefano directs this conversation to Marvin. Like, Marvin, since you a professional and making your own calls, how do you feel about this? Did you make this call on his own? And so he was like, yeah, I think Marvin ain't give two thoughts about it, okay? He just trying to get the heat off him. I want to say poor Marvin, but it ain't poor Marvin no more. Like, Marvin, I'm going to need you to stand up on it. Because, maybe that was a pause, maybe not. But at the end of the day, like, Marvin, I'm tired. So Stefano was like, yo, short term, I got people who can, truck your product to the restaurants, but I need you to figure out a long-term solution because I don't like the narcotics trade because it's a filthy business. Just call it what you think it is. You think it's hood rat, you think it's ghetto. But y'all mobsters was over there shaking down neighborhood businesses and gambling and do whatever the F y'all want. But when it comes to narcotics, it's a filthy business. Stefano, get the hell out of here. Don't be over here with your head held high because y'all the most scoundrels, ruthless ass criminals there is to be. And Rock, let me let you know, sis, I don't want Stefano or none of his people near our work because I don't trust him. We never did well with people transporting our work. Look what happened to Worrell back in the day. He was over there driving buses and whatnot. We can't trust them with our work, Rock. And I understand we caught between a rock and a hard place, pun intended, no pun intended, but we got to figure out some other solutions, which she will eventually. But at this point, I don't want Stefano or none of his people near our work because I can't trust them. So he asked to speak to Rock alone. Of course, Marvin and Rock both confused. So he starts telling Rock about Early and how he came to see him. And this is the thing about Early. So when first of all, that whole little scene annoyed the hell out of me because when what's Stefano's Giorgio Stefano's little right hand, he came over here with his little jogger suit he wearing every episode, talking about pretty much we got company and they want an audience. So Early think he's slick and trying to be strategic. He just don't want to speak to Stefano alone about Marvin. He want to make sure other people around, and then he got the nerve to say Marvin's whole name. Because he figures he wants to make sure Stefano is being held accountable when it comes to dealing with Marvin. And he wants to know the word is out there on the street to make sure Stefano handles the business when it comes to Marvin. Because ain't no way you over here talking about, I want to talk to you about Marvin Thomas. Since we got to be on first and last names basis, we know the hell you talk about, just say Marvin. But no, he think he being real strategic over there, wanting, the other mobsters to know what's going on. But now you pretty much twisted Stefano's arm because now he's going to feel like he has to do something about Marvin because he can't let them know that he didn't handle it. And this probably has to do with part of what Phil was talking to Unique about. Because Phil he can't take out Neek. I mean, he can't take out Phil himself, but maybe if they make Stefano weak enough, they may do the favor for them and take out Stefano. Oh, Lord, it's too much. This is too much, you guys. But Stefano, I love you. Tony Danzo, I love you. But you got to go. You got to go. Sorry. I don't care. We ain't dealing with Angela. We ain't dealing with Mona. We not trying to figure out who the F the boss is. You got to go. Because you over there with the bullshit. And this is what he over here trying to manipulate Raquel Thomas. And I don't appreciate that. Because one, he vouching for Early, talking about, and don't get me wrong, this part, I feel like, I agree with him. He's like, it was pretty much ballsy of Early coming to him like that because he knows Early would know the repercussions of lying. I get that. But then he's talking about, I'm a good judge of character. And he wasn't lying to me. He wasn't telling no story because Rock was like, hey, desperate times call for desperate measures, okay? You can't believe desperate people. They trying to save their behinds. And so he was like, damn, this ain't working. So I need to go ahead and put 20 on 10 and tell her that Marvin talked to him about replacing her. And of course, she was like, nah, I don't believe that. I don't believe that. Like, I'm loyal to my family. So if y'all thinking about anything funny, just know if y'all trying to come at Marvin Thomas, you got to deal with Raquel Thomas first. Because we not doing that. We real blood over here. We ain't no fake mob blood. Like, we ain't doing that. We know you got rituals over there, pricking y'all fingers or whatever. But no, we real blood. We real DNA over here. Okay? So, Stefano, I don't care what you talking about right now. So I'm like, we not doing that. So he was like, okay, plan C, okay? He tried to bring up Early. He tried to bring up this lie about Marvin. Now he was like, okay, let me use this last little manipulation tactic here. And he started talking about, well, look, people like you and me, we have our head up so high, it's hard to see what's happening at our feet. And so, he's trying to play like he feels like him and Raquel are equals, even though he's very much misogynistic. He, plenty of times he's talking about women and the differences between women and men, but now you're over here trying to act like you feel like y'all equal. Like, I see what you're trying to do, Stefano. But we not buying what you selling. We not buying that bullshit. Get out my face. Get out of my face. So while Marvin waiting outside, he sees a girl getting off the bus and her father picking her up. He was giving Gerald a little bit. So of course we see how Marvin's his brain cells be in the wrong place at the wrong time. So Raquel comes out of the meeting. She was like, yeah, Early came through. You don't F this all up, Marvin. He was like, shit. See, Marvin, you ain't mad enough for me. Don't get me wrong. I know you're working on your anger and whatnot, but at that point, you needed to get a little more angry. Like, you a little too chill at this point. Like, there's no remorse or anything about you not putting down Early. And it's pissing me off. Yes, Soul Firm. The Soul Firm Entertainment said we got to get all these two-faced mafioso players out of here. Every last one of them. And that's the thing. I would love for that to be an option, but we already know the mob is just like roaches, okay? You think you got it all. You got the raid, you got the traps, but it's still more up and coming, okay? There's still more eggs that has to be hatched, okay? So that's the thing about the mob. And a lot of organizations, like, it's hard to just kill them all. But we can do most of them. Yeah, we can do most of them. But this is the power universe. We already know how they be doing. We already know. But we can start with Stefano. He's number 1 on the call sheet, okay? So, speaking of mafioso, we see Neek, he over there talking to Phil. He's pretty much denying the fact that he put the call out to murk David or whatever. Phil already know what's up. And he playing it cool with Neek. But I feel like he's over there in the background conspiring how to get Unique out of his situation. Because don't get me wrong, Phil wants the bread. He wants, if this is a lucrative situation, he don't mind keeping Neek, in the vicinity, if you will. But Neek ain't giving no bread right now. We don't got no work. So Neek is really not benefiting him. He's pretty much probably tired of Neek coming here every week talk about drama, but we don't got no envelopes. Neek, you ain't sending not one envelope full of money, not one time. And this is how I know you're financially unstable. Because at the end of the day, you need to get your ish together. We over here got all the chains. We got new couches. We got all the things. You stole money from Raq numerous times. You had a trunk full of money per Kanan. But I'm sure now one time you was like, let me save some from a rainy day. Let me save some for a rainy day just in case some ish happened. Because you're not even feeding Phil right now. You got your whole deluxe apartment in the sky, but Phil over here hand dry. So we're going to have to see how this turns up, because at the end of the day, they don't like effing with movies anyway. Talking about, I'm tired of dealing with you and your ghetto ish. You already know how they think about us. The stress. Mr. Dub, what's up? Thank you for coming through. You said can't just kill a made man plus feds watching Stefano. Yeah, we're going to have to be real strategic when it comes to this. That's the hard part about dealing with these mobsters. Like, it be getting a little tricky, right? Rilla and Lou is over there at the bar, and Rilla is very much upset. He's getting out on Lou, mad because Lou quit. He's telling Lou, you just like everybody else. You over here saying you down and you not. You got me out of jail. And exactly, he got you out of jail. He just dropped 2 bodies for your ignorant ass. Shut it up, B Rilla. You part of the reason why he in this predicament, because you over here making a block hot because you over here being dumb as hell with Kenyatta and them. Like, don't be over here with all that. Because Lulu has been going above and beyond to save your raggedy ass. Like, come on, B-Rilla. Get out of here. Be effing for real, B-Rilla, because I'm tired of you. And so he knows and he feels like, yo, since Lulu not there to advocate for him, he's probably going to be dropped from the label. But I'm like, B-Rilla, are you even trying? Because I would go to, oh boy, I'm like, hey, can Imani work with me? I don't know. I know she didn't want to work with none of them anyway, but at least try. You're not even doing that. And then he's going to tell Lulu, if you got some work for me, I'm willing to do anything. I'm willing to be real gully out here in these streets. Put it in what work? Lulu, I'm sorry. You weren't there in the van when old boy was over there scared as I don't know what, when he had the blicky in his face. But no, you don't need to be calling him for no type of work. Only work he is good for and eligible for is yard work at Raq's house, because she's the only one with a yard per se. But I won't even trust that because he liked to steal. And Raq got a nice house, so I don't even want him doing that. Lulu, I don't care how desperate we get. Please do not call this fool for no work. Maybe surveillance work. Maybe, we need a fire mixtape when we go to war, because he good with those gun bars, you know what I'm saying? Something to get us pumped up, revved up when we start getting the blickies activated. Maybe. But that real work, he's not eligible for, okay? The resume is not resumeing. He has no experience. So please, I don't care how much you love the guy. No. And is he still living in your crib? Where he staying at? Oh, Lord. Not afraid to get too gully. Since when? Since when? The last time we saw you, you was over there. And I'm pretty sure you was even scared when Lulu gave you the plan. Like, all right, I'm going to get these fools from the back. Pause. You just stand out in front of the building. And so you could be over here just, we could hit them with the 1-2. He probably didn't want to do that. He probably was scared being out there on his lonesome at 2 a.m. Well, it was more like 11, 12. But you know what I'm saying? He probably had to be coached up to even do that. Well, Lou, suppose, they try to get up on me. Lou probably had to chill him out when it comes to that. So no. Be Rilla, be effing gone. You done caused enough issues. Okay, I'm tired. So we see Marvin, he over there at Amber School. So he bribed a staff member. I don't know if it's $50 or $100. He pretty much get Amber's address. He probably went over there to Miss Shirley at the, admin office. He probably, rubbed up against her, whatever, and got the information. So Marvin goes to check on Amber. She with another set of druggies. Bless his child heart. Bless Amber's heart. Oh my God. They dirty as hell. House nasty as hell. So they not trying to give Marvin no attention because they're like, no, friends of Amber. Like, what? Nah, that can't be possible, right? So he was like, all right, y'all being disrespectful, but I'm going to go ahead and do my little breathing techniques. Woosah. Yum, num your home ringing kyo, num your home ringing kyo, num your home ringing kyo. Like Marvin trying all the techniques, right? So he about to leave, and she was like, Uncle Marvin, Uncle Marvin. I said, Amber, how the hell you hear Marvin's voice all the way from the other side of the house? Girl, your window wasn't even facing the street to see Uncle Marvin's car. Like, I was like, I don't know about this part, guys. I don't know about the writing in this part, but hey, I was here for it because poor little Amber was over there locked up in the room with a little baby. And at first I was like, is this your baby? Was you over here being molested? Like, what's going on? But it was probably the mother's baby. But either way, I felt sorry for the girl. Marvin had to murk the foster parents. And he tells her, yo, call a popo, give a description that's completely opposite of me. Okay, say white guy, tattoos, and then I'll serve back on you when the block ain't hot. So now we got to figure out if Amber is going to keep it real or not. Because I'm a little nervous. A little look back scene. I was like, Amber, we count on you, girl. But something tells me if Marvin is to go down for these two people, I feel like in his heart, he would actually be okay with that. Because in his heart, he feels like he did something good. And I feel like that would bring him peace. So I feel like he would accept that. I ain't gonna lie, y'all. I feel like he would accept that. If the family wasn't so effed up, maybe we could adopt little Amber or something. But we can't do that because we're already effing up the kids that we already got in the damn Thomas family. Kanan, he is calling all the hospitals in the tri-state area looking for Crystal. Nobody has any word. And Juke offers to help, right? She's like, I got somebody. I can make some calls. It's a little complicated, but I can get it done. He was like, cool. I appreciate it. Now, Kanan's, well, I could say Mekhi Curtis, his acting in this scene, it was great. I really enjoyed the acting. He was stressed out. He was over there. The voice was cracking and everything. I was like, all right, Mekhi. All right, Mekhi. You over here trying to get your little Denzel on. I appreciate that. So he was like, let me go home and talk to Bonnie and Clyde for some info because they always know stuff we don't. Or they always hear stuff we don't. I said, yeah, because they be lying, Kanan. But I'm trying to chill out, you guys. But Juke is even trying to stay positive. She's like, yo, stay positive, Kanan. He was like, Juke, nothing ever works out for us, Juke. I said, Kanan, shut your lying ass up. Because when you was over there at that school taking that test or lack thereof, you had an opportunity to get the F out. If anything, Juke need to be saying nothing ever good happens because she was over there dealing with the effery with her moms. She was over there, had to deal with the dismantling of butter. Like, you can't say that, Kanan, because you're a spoiled, bratty-ass little kid, and you had choices. So don't be over here talking about nothing good ever happens. And honestly, the past year, Juke can't even say that because she could have stayed in the Army. She could have played it cute and stayed in the Army, okay? She could have went to school and really took it seriously. So y'all both over here fucking around. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for the foul language, y'all, but they pissing me off. They pissing me off over here. Anywho, later that night, we see Garcia showing Juke a picture of a Jane Doe that was found somewhere in Queens. And so by the looks of her face, she confirms that it is Crystal. Now, Garcia's like, now you owe me. Now, in my head, I'm trying to figure out, Juke, what the hell are you going to give Garcia that does not implicate anyone in your family, but gets him off of your heels? The first thing I could think of is unique, but I don't know. Let me know what y'all think. Like Juke is going to give him, because she's good at figuring out other options, right? And this is part of my issue. And granted, Juke don't really want to be mixed in with Kanan's BS too much, but you can obviously see that Crystal was tortured, right? Famous tortured. Both found in random places. I mean, Edgemere, that's the Queens, and Famous was found in the Bronx, okay? But still, random places, both tortured. Like, she will put 2 and 2 together and come to the conclusion that 9 times out of 10, they are connected. But I need her and Kanan to really compare the facts and for her to steer Kanan the best way she needs to, because Kanan's over there. That's the thing. She's not privy to these conversations that Kanan is having with these people, because if she was privy to all the information that Kanan is being fed, she would realize what the hell is going on. We can only pray. Let's wrap this up, guys. I'm sorry. So Lou is over there talking to Rock, and this whole conversation is 95% BS. I'm sorry, y'all. I cannot buy half the ish that Lulu is selling right now, because even Rock is like, yo, like, this ain't the first time you won it back in the game. Like, you over here playing double dutch. Like, you over here, you jumping in or not? Like, what are we doing? You ain't no half stepping. So Lulu got the nerve to say, well, now I can accept who I am and what this work is. You know what I'm saying? And she's like, bruh, Scrap, D-Wiz, like, you was over here drinking yourself to oblivion because of these fools. And he got the nerve to say he think he got effed up because he liked it too much. You didn't like none of that. Even Marvin was over there in the car, sick to y'all stomachs over there when y'all was driving Scrap to his demise. Y'all didn't like that not one bit, Lulu. So what are you talking about? When Rock told you to batter up, when y'all came to the conclusion, or she came to the conclusion that D-Wiz had to go. You didn't like that not one bit. Your face was frowned up the whole night. The moment you picked him up, the moment y'all got to the club, the moment he went to take a whiz. You didn't like none of that. Even when you was over there with a whole tech or whatever gun that was, and you didn't hit Warrell not one time. The only time I can really remember that you really liked busting the cap of somebody's ass, when you was over there, you murked the mob dude when he came at Marvin. And Renee she had to go out like that. She had to go out like that. But Lulu, you BSing low-key. I'm sorry. You talk about it felt good, it felt right. Like, I don't believe that. Please, chat, let me know how y'all feel about this. Do y'all believe Lulu or not? Because I am confusion. And then he got the nerve to call himself a dragon slayer. And he made peace with himself. He ready to go back to war because he can't protect nobody being behind no mixing board. Low key, you was murking more people at the mixing board than in the streets. There was at least 3 bodies caught in the studio, but hey, that's neither here nor there. But Rock's still like, yo, I don't know if I'm buying none of this, but if you want work, I got work, because I'm always hiring. Okay, call me the Walmart of drugs. We always accepted applications. And if you're a dragon slayer like you say you are, we about to be up in the dragon's lair, my nigga. So strap the F up. And no, we did not have time for Lulu to go back through orientation. We couldn't fill out no paperwork, no nothing, because within an hour, they was over there at Unique's. And Unique over there cheesing, showing all 32 MF teeth once he saw the baby mama walking through. And is he ever going to find out she's his ex-baby mama? I don't know. But he need to know something, because why did y'all put that storyline up in this season if y'all not going to let the boy know? But she says we need to talk. So we got to figure out what the hell they're going to be talking about. Now, we already know Raq she need help. She need help. We really got them over here and need help. And I feel like there's a few things at play, okay? She see her son over there possibly about to work with Neek. So she probably feel like, hey, to protect my son and to possibly gain my son back, I need to intervene in this situation, right? She also, like we said, need help. Neek got bodies, okay? He got people, he got employees. And he got these streets on lock. She got work. So we need to put two and two together and make this thing work. But at the same time, she knows she can't really trust Neek like that. She loves him, but she can't trust him. And then, per previous episodes, she's aware of this proxy war that the mobs are trying to possibly put together. And so to save the Moolies got to stick together. So we already know whatever Raq has up under her sleeve is probably a brilliant ass plan. But always when we got to deal with a brilliant plan and the execution and the logistics of it, there's always monkey wrenches. And the biggest monkey wrenches we got to deal with is Kanan and Marvin. Because we see Unique back by side. I don't know, y'all. When I saw Unique and Raq side by side like that, I got goosebumps. I was like, yes, we got that old thing back. But we still got Kanan and Marvin. And they never disappoint. How do we figure out and find out about Marvin when we initially met him? He never missed the opportunity to miss the opportunity. So yeah, we're going to see how this works. Me personally, I low-key want to see Raq and Unique again together. I know that's wrong. Guys. I don't know. Just the bird in me be wanting that. But hey, that ain't healthy for nobody, okay? Unless she do an old Harlem Nights, and after they do, she got a little pew-pew underneath the pillow, then I'll be all right with that. And to close the episode out, Kanan goes to Snap and Pops. Rewind that real quick. I don't know if y'all paid attention, but I love when writers do this. When Neek was in the mirror standing there, and he was pretty much embracing his scar, what have you. I don't know. I really like how the multiple how he was showing in multiple mirrors, if you will. There was like 3 versions of Unique from the side, and like, you know, it was just I don't know. I just feel like the writers be telling us something when they do stuff like that, especially with the cameras and the mirror work. But I took note of that. Not actually sure what the meanings are. They normally, when they do stuff like that, it represents different shades or parts of that character. But I don't know. I used to love when Courtney Kemp used to give us good 3 minutes breaking down the episodes and what they mean, especially the title and stuff. Like, I miss those days of OG Power when she used to do it. And she did that, I think, for book 2. She used to go on live and kind of talk to the chat and everything. Like, I don't know, Sasha Penn, somebody need to give us some background information. Like, this show is too damn good for y'all not to be giving us some behind the scenes or something. Like, come on, what we doing here? Pissing me off. Anywho, Snap and Pops tell Kanan they don't know nothing about his girlfriend. Even though we know if you dig deep enough, there is some information because Garcia was able to find something. But we already know they can tell Kanan whatever the F they want. But they did hear back from their NYPD friends who would never lie to them. In terms of famous, poor Snap. And I feel like, I ain't gonna lie, I feel like Pop wears the pants in a relationship. But anywho, Snap had the nerve to say it was your mother. And Rock hired dirty police to off fame. And a lie detector determined that was a lie. That was a lie, Kanan. Please. And Kanan, he be making those facial expressions. And you never know what goes through in that fool's head. You know what I'm saying? So I know part of him, I don't want to say I don't think he's satisfied. I think he's only satisfied because he probably feels like, oh, I'm right, it was her. But I feel like also him hearing that, he don't really want to believe it for real. You know what I'm saying? Because he still love his mother. Don't get it twisted. He don't F with her on some level. Like, he's hurt. It's really hurt. It's really hurt and it's pain. But he still loves her because time and time again, he be talking real slick to her. He be feeling away. But when times get tough, he always saves her. You know what I'm saying? Or he's always making sure he protects her on some level. But at this point, y'all, I don't know what he's going to do. And I feel like the only person that can possibly get through to him is Juke. So Juke, I really need y'all to come together and put it together because Kanan, he doesn't have the mental capacity or the emotional capacity to understand how hard he is being manipulated by everybody. Snap and Pop, Unique, everybody's playing with in his face except for Rock at this time. But poor little scared boy is so upset with his mother that he can't see that right now. And like I said, I know y'all Kanan lovers is going to be over here and was like, I don't want to hear none of that. Yes, I acknowledge Rock has done some things that is unfavorable. But Kanan, get the F over it. I'm sorry. It's hard for me to really have sympathy for Kanan because we've tried time and time again to steer him away from this life. And now you over here in this life and they are over here feeding you bullshit time after time. And you over here eating that shit just like Crystal was eating that peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Okay. I'm tired, Kanan. But I must say, Kanan is going through so much ish right now. This is just so much material for him to go through to where that makes him, or should have made him, the most street smart, savage person that you could ever see in the hood. And even though grown Kanan was savage and he had some sense, like he did have strategic moves, which was honestly partially stirred from hurt and emotion from what Ghost did to him, but he wasn't the smartest crayon in the box, okay? Let's just be clear, okay? He was outsmarted numerous of times. But y'all, that was the episode. Dexter, what's up? You said that was reminiscent of Ghost with the mirrors. Yeah, they used to do that, but they never really did. It was really Ghost. I mean, yeah, they used to do that sometimes when Ghost had like the 3-sided mirrors. But there were like 6 different versions of Unique if y'all played a scene back. But it is definitely reminiscent though. What's up, Blazing Saddles? How are you? You said I just don't like how grown Kanan came from this young Kanan. They added up. The math don't be mathing sometimes, but we also have to understand grown Kanan was like 40 in OG Power. This is 17-year-old Kanan. So there's about 23 years of growth and BS that grown Kanan has, acquired since this. So we have to keep that in mind, because yeah, 23 years ago, I wasn't the same person, but I get what you're saying, boo. I get what you're saying. Dexter, you said Kanan grew the most the 10 years he was in prison. Yeah, possibly. Possibly. And, you know, a lot of that probably stemmed from him just really thinking of all the things he went through, you know, because grown Kanan, he be moving around doing so much, he don't take the time to think. That is a trend with him, right? So if he was like 40 when he got locked up, he did 10 years. So when Ghost, because I'm sure probably Kanan went in and out, you know, of jail possibly in his lifetime. But he got locked up when Tasha and Ghost set him up. He was like 30, right? So from like 15 to 30, he went through a lot. So the fact is probably he spent his whole 30s really thinking of Ish and really just having all that stuff marinated and realizing like, oh, he was probably he was probably doing the math, okay? And prison was probably the best thing that could have happened to him in terms of his mindset. Because, you know, Juke was over there, you know, not teach him anything because she was over here being the police and everything. I'm going to say, I wonder if she ever visited Kanan, but would that have been a good thing? I don't know. But yeah, y'all, this was a great episode. If y'all want to give y'all ratings, please let us sister know. Dexter, you said Kanan probably learned how to play chess in prison. I'm sure. Because the way he roams around the streets now, no, definitely not smart enough. And I don't want to say he's completely an idiot. That is not the case. But it's just when his emotions get caught up in things, that's when things get gray. And again, he's 17. Dexter, you said Rock is the only competent person in our organization. That is facts. I mean, now that we have Lulu, you know, I'm going to include him. We just got to watch out for him because we don't need Lulu going back to that bottle. And I don't need him picking up no other habits either. Okay, let's just say that. But Lulu, we gotta Rock, we probably gotta put him on some type of plan. You know what I'm saying? Like some part-time work. I know Lulu, he likes full-time and wants full-time work. Well, he got to prove himself low-key. But at the same time, we ain't about to be in war. I'm tired of that. Every finale, we got to go to war. God damn. But I guess it won't be a show if we ain't got no drama, okay? Because it seems like it's going to be a lot of bodies dropping this finale. And I'm just going to pray. I'm just going to pray that whatever bodies drop next episode, I am not emotionally attached to. And I'm only emotionally attached to the Thomas organization, okay? So I'm a little nervous, y'all. I'm a little nervous. Flex, you give it an 8.2. Q-Biz, 9.5. DeMarcus, 9. Stephen Harris, 9. Yes, I've been saying that, Dexter. I said we need an HR department for just the drug organization as a whole, okay? We need some rules and regulations going on because things are running amok. Flex, you said people give out 10s too easy, leave no room for crazy plot twists. Yeah, I mean, when it comes to ratings, it's, you know, to each his own. I get it, though. I would give this about this is a solid 9. A solid 9. Oh, DeMarcus, you talking about Marvin gotta go. Now, if Marvin goes, I mean, I understand, right? Because how many times we're going to be making mistakes? He got a lot of situations that I just don't know how they can be resolved. And we know Rock is the cleanup woman, so I'm sure whatever plan she has hatched in her brain, it can possibly clear Marvin of a lot of ish. But the only thing she probably can't clear him of is the whole situation with Amber if that pops up. Because Marvin Gibbs, he's only been using one blicky for all these murders. And now that we know that the police are paying attention and over here reviewing ballistic reports, I'm a little nervous. Because Marvin don't look like he over there cleaning guns. He don't look like he over there switching guns. Like, I don't know. And we already know the feds been on him before anyway when it came to Gerald. Dexter, you give it a 9. Stephen Harris, yes. Snap and Pops got to go. Let me know who got to go in the finale, y'all. Snap and Pops, those two goofy-ass cops got to go that they've been working with because that is a disgrace. Garcia can possibly go. I feel like Juke can use him to our benefit, and I'm saying ours, like Thomas' organization. But we got to be careful with Garcia. And Captain Baptiste, where the hell you at? Are you preparing? Are you planning vacations because you about to be retired? Like, what's going on? What's going on? You said you was over here having a passion project trying to figure out what was going on in your department, but we ain't seen you not one time. Garcia over here burning gas all over Queens following Juke. What are you doing, Baptiste? Let a sister know. Yes, DeMarcus Early Tyler, he definitely has to go. Flex, do we know if Amber still has the money that Marvin gave her and how she's using it without being detected by? See, I thought about that, and I was thinking they found that money and they smoked it up. That's what I'm thinking, because they give the type that be all in her stuff and just how crackheads be. But I felt that they took her money. As soon as he popped up to that house and I thought about that money, I was like, yeah, they found it. And I'm surprised, like, how crackheads be. I'm surprised they never, if they question her and try to have her like communicate with Marvin to kind of get them more bread, like kind of how her daddy did Marvin. You know what I'm saying? Like, I got to pay these drug dealers off, yada, yada, yada. But they was giving smart dumb anyway, so who knows? And she probably lied to him. I don't know. Dexter, you said Marvin gave Jukebox his gun. He's using a different gun. No, Marvin Gibbs, he was using 2 guns, right? Like he has 2 guns in total, because you can't tell me that he be out in the streets with no gun. So I feel like he kept that one gun that was probably his backup or house gun in the couch, and it felt like he had like a street gun. That's what I was thinking this whole time, because he not just gonna give Juke a gun and not have one. He always gonna have one. So I was always under the impression that he had 2 main blickies. One he kept with him, and then one he kept like in the house. But hey, I'm no expert on the show per se, but that was my justification on how the blicky situation was. Because Marvin, he's smart though, and he's a creature of habit. So I don't see him. I don't know. I just feel like if I'm murking people, every person I murk or every situation I'm murking, I'm throwing that gun away and getting a new one. But Marvin, I'm sure ain't doing that, because he gives attachment to guns. Like he's giving, what was that one sibling duel in Power? The one with the gold gun. I can't remember his name. Oh, I forgot his name. But they began attached to their little blickies, child. Thank you, DeMarcus. I appreciate it. DeMarcus, Howard would be right if Marvin go to prison. That's the thing. Rock has been trying to keep Marvin out of prison all show. So yeah, at the end of the day, it's like, what's the point? he is begging to go. He is begging to go at this point. Yes, Diego Jimenez. Thank you so much, DeMarcus. I cannot think. I was thinking about Alicia, but I couldn't think of her brother's name. I'm trying to just give y'all clear just 2 hours. Okay, so I'm trying to give y'all 5 more minutes, and then I'm relaxing. Okay. I'm trying to see if y'all have anything else y'all want me to read or discuss. Let me know. Mr. Dub, you said, I think Jukebox and or Lou would be the MVPs of the finale. Yeah, I can see that, definitely. Lewis, he said he itchy. He said the streets has been calling his name. Okay. I was like, Lulu, get the F out of here. Like I said, I do think he enjoys the game. But when it's somebody that he is close with or feels that don't deserve it, that's the issue. And that's kind of like Marvin as well. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, they all have hearts. Like even Rock, she didn't want to put down which scrap, but it had to be done. She really didn't really want to put down D-Wiz, but it had to be done. They forced her hand. You know what I'm saying? So they're not like just over here just savagery, you know, just murking people, but they got to do what they got to do. And if Rock got to tell you one more time, Kanan, D-Wiz, that's your body. I'm gonna time travel and smack the shit out of you. Because I'm really tired. And it's funny because Kanan be knowing, because every time she be checking Kanan and telling him the real, he be having this little dumb look on his face. And I'm still curious. I think I mentioned that, I think on Miss K's live. Like, I'm still curious of how much Juke knows about that D-Wiz situation. Because like I said, they showed her getting off the bus that night, and she saw D-Wiz getting into Lou's car. Next thing we know, D-Wiz is gone, right? But they never really showed Juke's perspective. Like and don't get me wrong, Juke is smart. I know she know how to put two and two together. But you know, when Kanan and Raq is discussing D-Wiz at the table, Juke, of course, is not saying much. But I'm just curious. And last week, Kanan brought up D-Wiz. So I'm just wondering, like, if Juke is at a place where it's confirming that Raq put the call out, and did she also know that it was Rock's, you know, hand that was forced, that streets needed a body? Like, that's the things I be trying to wonder, because sometimes, and Raising Kanan is a great ass show, but there's sometimes where I'm like, okay, y'all did not follow up with the situation. In regards to Juke seeing D-Wiz, like, I thought we were going to have some type of follow-up scene. I don't know. Thank you, HEA. I appreciate you. Yeah, they've been cheating us a little bit, DeMarcus. They need to give us at least an hour. Dexter, you said, where would I rank this season? That is hard. I think I got to wait to the finale. Because season 1's top tier. Damn, I enjoy all the seasons, though. That's hard. But I'm going to have to wait to the finale to really give it an educated response, honestly, Dexter. If you're here next week, please remind me to answer that question. But sometimes I may need a little minute to kind of really let it sink. Flex, what do you think about a spinoff covering Kanan's time in the pen? There's still gaps in the storyline between the origins and OG Power. Yeah, and that's the thing. We don't know. Okay, we know there's a season 5 of Raising Kanan. I'm not sure if there's going to be a time jump or not. But like I said, he's 17 now. OG Power, he's about 40, right? Because Tasha, and like I said, I just reviewed OG Power. I just finished reviewing all 6 seasons of OG Power. If y'all interested, it's on my page. I should have some playlists for each season. So a lot of this information is fresh, right? So Tasha was 30, Ghost and Tommy was 35, and Kanan was 40. There's like a 5-year difference between each, you know, of them, right? So, like I said, it's 23 years. I don't know if the Power Universe is really going to cover all of those years. And you know what I'm saying? Like, don't get me wrong, Kanan is an intriguing character on some level, but are we going to invest all this time? Because I honestly feel like people will be interested in Ghost's origins probably is just as much or more than Kanan. And let's be clear, it's Raising Kanan, and not to say this show is not about Kanan, but we focus a lot more on the people that's actually raising him and the situations that he's gone through with these people in his family, right? Ghost doesn't really have this type of foundation, if you will. We know, I don't know, they never really mentioned much about what happened to his mom. I'm going to assume either she left or passed away. I'm trying to remember that particular detail. We know his dad died seemingly at the hands of some hood rats. There was Uncle Gabe, but that wasn't really, I don't know if he had much of an impact. He stayed with Tommy and Kate for a little bit. So yeah, I don't know. We will see. HA, you give it a 8.5. Dexter, you said Kanan has selective memory. Yes, and Unique has selective outrage. So they were both one and the same. Thank you, Moochie. She said, happy Mother's Day to all the mothers. Yes. Cuban said the 5th season may answer some questions because most likely it will be the last one. Yeah. I think we can do 5 or 6 seasons. It just depends on this next season and what they are covering, right? Because who knows, they may just keep focusing on the Thomases, this whole Raising Kanan, and then start a whole new show, or we may start to see the Thomas siblings phase out and have the spotlight more on Kanan on Raising Kanan. I was under the impression that they would start phasing out the Thomas siblings and giving more Juke and Kanan the spotlight, which I feel that is happening, because even just minor details about just seeing how in the beginning of this show, the whole family will meet at Lamont. They had their own little table. They will all have their night where they would have dinner together, right? We don't see that anymore. But what we do see is Kanan and Juke at Lamont in a specific table, and they kind of having conversations and meetings. You know what I'm saying? So you can see, the switch there. So I don't know if that's kind of like a foreshadowing of, future seasons being mainly focused on Juke and or Kanan. Dexter, I was just about to get into that. You said, are the young characters strong enough to carry the show? I definitely feel that they are, right? Me personally, I don't want to see a Kanan focused show. Kanan gets on my damn nerves in this form. I don't want to see Kanan get any more scenes. And shout out to Makai. He's doing a great job. But just Kanan just getting on my damn. Unless Kanan gets to a place where he realizes everything is not Rock's fault. That's, I guess, my main issue with Kanan. He's just, like I said, he's a dumb kid on some level. So I can't watch 50 minutes of that every week. Like, that's going to drive me crazy. Now, Juke's character, I can see that. I think they can carry, because, not acting wise, but just storyline wise, I'm referring to. But I can see a more focused show about Juke. I mean, honestly, Raising Juke has been more interesting than Raising Kanan to me. It's a more developed story. But like I said, I don't know. Moochie, you said some of the characters may merge in with Origins. Yeah, that's true too. Flex, you said they definitely are. Otherwise, we don't make it to season 5. It's time to let them show us they can carry it. They got to grow up at some point, is what I'm thinking. That's what I'm saying. According to Juke, Kanan grown. I'm like, shut your ass up, Juke. Like, I never really wanted to smack Juke until that time. I'm like, Juke, what are you talking about? He's an idiot. He's an idiot. Like, what? Are you projecting how you feel about yourself upon Kanan and how they view Kanan? Because I am confusion. But y'all tired of me running my mouth, because I can run my mouth for 5 more hours, okay? So I don't want y'all to be wrapped up in this live. I want y'all to enjoy this Mother's Day. I'm probably about to heat me up some leftovers, okay? And probably take a nap on the couch and rub my feet together and take a nap. And I'm pretty sure Miss K will be going live, so I will be on her channel tonight. And yeah, guys, all the maternal figures in your lives, please make sure you make their lives a little more pleasant today. If you don't have any, I'm sorry. I know this can be a rough time, this type of holiday, because, Father's Day is going to be weird for me this year. But all we got to do is just take it one day at a time, okay? Did y'all like the video yet? If you're new here and haven't subscribed, did y'all subscribe to my channel yet? Like, let me know. And I may need to ask y'all via poll or something if y'all really want me to be up here talking about BMF, because as of now, I don't want to cover this show. But the way my personality is set up, if this is last season, I will feel a way by not completing the task of covering all the seasons of BMF. But the foolery that they're putting in our face, I don't know if I could really stomach dealing with this show any longer. But if there's an overwhelming response for me to cover BMF, I will probably do it, okay? But I probably won't commit to it until after I saw the first episode. So I'm just letting y'all know. It ain't no automatic, PG over here gonna be over here reviewing Raising Kanan. BMF. Because that is not the case. That is pending, okay? And that's a capital P in pending. Just let me know. Yes, I know Flags Godfather of Harlem is definitely, I know it's a great show. I don't want to get canceled, but I'm not a Forrest Whitaker fan. So that's kind of, and I'm from Harlem, so it kind of hurts me. It hurts me not to cover that show, but I'm just, don't cancel me, y'all. But, and it's like 4 seasons in or so, maybe 3, and that's a lot to me to try to catch up on. So, yes. Yes, Q-Biz, you said cover BMF for last. I was thinking that too. I can't take it seriously. Dexter, you said, will Kanan buy Rock a Mother's Day card? Hell no. No. None of that happening. Tired of his ass. Okay, yeah. Let me stop. Thank y'all so much. I appreciate y'all. Again, please like the video, subscribe if you listening to the replay. Let's get down in the comments. I appreciate y'all being so active up in here in the chats. I really appreciate it. I'm sorry I could not cover a lot of y'all comments because I'll be going off on a tangent low key. So it's hard for me to get my point across and my thoughts out and, be focused on all the comments. But I know y'all be talking it up with each other. So yeah. Love y'all. And I will see y'all next week. Okay. Same day, same time. All right. Till next time. Toodles.